Today, I'm going to show you how in HighLevel Calendar you can include a location preference for your users to select how they want to meet with you in person, online, or over a phone call. This is not present natively in HighLevel, so I'm going to show you step by step how I have implemented this in my HighLevel account, and you can also do the same. I work with a lot of real estate agents, and they often meet with their clients in person at their home, a broker's office, or a local Starbucks. If you don't want to build out and if you want to access directly the whole setup, I'll leave a link to the snapshot in the description below, and you can copy that into your own HighLevel account. So there are 4 easy steps to this process. Step number 1 is for you to create a custom field with the location preference as the custom field. Step number 2 is to create a form and include this custom field along with name, email, phone number, and any other details that you want in the form itself. Now, step number 3 is you will want to embed this form in the calendar. I'm going to show you how to do that. And finally, step number 4 is to create a few workflows and automations so your users are getting notifications, emails, and text message reminders for the meeting when they schedule an appointment with you. So let's dive in. To create a custom field, head over to settings at the bottom left, and you want to scroll down till you see custom fields and go ahead and click on custom fields. Since I've already created the custom field, I'm just going to show you what the custom field looks like. But for you to create a custom field, all you have to do is click on add field and it'll open up a list of new custom field options. For the location preference, you want it to be our radio select. I've named my custom field as meeting location preference. It has 3 options basically: online meeting, Zoom or Google Meets, in-person meeting, and phone call meeting. I also want to create a second custom field that'll carry the address when somebody is wanting to meet in person. So I'm going to go ahead and call it meeting address, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So meeting address is a single line type of custom field. Everything else is blank. I'm just calling it meeting address, and I'm going to show you how to use that in a minute. So if you have these 2 custom fields, step 1 is practically done. Now step 2 is creation of a form. So I'm going to head back over and I'm going to click on sites and then click on forms and then add a form, start from scratch. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the form that I've already created. So the form itself is pretty simple. It's name, email, the custom field that we just created, which is the location preference, and also the meeting address that we created. I'm also going to talk about a script that I've added here. It's a Google Maps API script where if somebody is typing in an address into this particular field, it'll have a drop down from the Google Maps where people can just click on it and select the location. So I also have a few more fields that I feel are important for the calendar. So that's pretty much what the form looks like. What I've also done in the form is I've included a conditional logic where if somebody selects an in-person meeting, only then will I be displaying the custom field of meeting address. If they select an online meeting or phone call, I leave that blank. I'm going to show you how to set up that custom field. So head on over to add conditional logic and click on show hide fields. I'll click on meeting location is equal to in-person meeting, then show preferred meeting place. So when you do this, only when somebody clicks on in-person meeting will the form show the meeting address. So if you have this set up, your form is basically created. Now, step number 3 is to create a calendar and embed this particular form that we just created into the calendar. I'm going to show you how to do that. So head on over to calendars, click on calendar settings, and it'll open up a list of calendars that you already have. You can either choose to edit the existing calendar or you can create a new calendar. So I'm going to show you the one that I already have. So when you're creating a calendar, you are given a few options on the left-hand side: meeting details, availability. I want to go into forms and payment, and here you can select the form that you just created. So click on over. By default, you have something on default, and click on over to the form that you just created. And embedding the form into a calendar is as simple as that. Now, those are steps 1, 2, and 3. Before I head on over to step number 4, I want to see if the calendar itself is functioning properly. So I go on to customizations and click on preview widget, select a date, select a time, click select, and I'm seeing that this calendar has the meeting location included. If I click on online meeting, I'm seeing that the meeting address is not popping up. If I click on in-person meeting, the meeting address actually does pop up. If I enter a random address, you have the drop down. I can go ahead and select. It's as simple as that. Now that my calendar is set up, I want to go ahead and set up automations and workflows so the notification emails and reminder text messages are going out to the users who actually schedule the meeting. A quick piece of advice here: before you build out a workflow or an automation, always write down the steps that you want the workflow to achieve on a piece of paper, and that way it becomes much easier to implement and execute the automation. Our job in the workflow is to identify which of the location preference has been selected and communicate to the user the selected location preference, any address details, and any other relevant appropriate information. If you also want to have some reminders, you can also add that in the workflow. So let me go ahead and show you what the automation actually looks like. We want to have a trigger where the appointment is booked. And once the appointment is booked, we want to select the location preference and see if it is a Google Meet, in person, or phone call. If it is a Zoom meeting, then we want to make sure that we are sending out internal notification to ourselves and also appointment details via text message and an email saying this is the Zoom meeting. So the Zoom meeting link will be a static link for now. I'm going to update that into the meeting address field here in the update contact field. And if it's an in-person meeting, I'm going to do the same thing and send out text messages and email reminders with the meeting address in the text message. So there you have it. It's a nifty way to create a location preference in your calendar and automate the notifications and reminder emails. If you have any questions on how to implement this or anything else in the entire use case, leave the questions in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them for you. I'll see you in the next video.